Thanks again, Nick at Night, for that video. And joining me here is Galadon, and we have 3 games that we're going to be looking at.
Excellent. All right, so we got some slow motion replays, more top plays. Is that what it is?
I actually don't know if we're going to be looking at some top plays right now. I think we're just going to be looking at 3 games from the third heat.
Oh, third round.
That's
Excellent.
Right. So the top 64 players, they whittled it down to 256. And here is the first game, everyone. It is Backstabx at the bottom, and Drezizzle on top in red.
Drezizzle, a Hammer Esports member here with Backstabx. And Ice Golem from the middle, right out in front. Oh, look at the hogrider down the right-hand lane, kind of a sneak attack.
A mini P.E.K.K.A. You guys were talking about how we don't see any mini P.E.K.K.A.s anymore.
Yeah, there's some cards you haven't seen a lot of today. That was definitely one of them. Giant down the left lane, Tombstone's going to try to defend. Mini P.E.K.K.A. stopped by the Ice Spirit right there. Giant redirecting after the Tombstone. Another Ice Golem is down already. Gotta love the Ice Golem. That is one of my newly favorite cards right there, is that Ice Golem.
We see the giant minion and the skeletons with an archer to the left being pulled by the goblins to the center to go away from that tower. Yep. Looks pretty even right now. I think Drezizzle is having a little bit of issue, but not really. It seems like a pretty close game. Not
a lot of damage from either player right now. They're both pretty safe. In fact, Backstab hasn't suffered a single hit point in damage with that Hogrider. Down the right lane, countered again by the mini P.E.K.K.A. And 2 shots, that Hogrider is down. And so that is a pretty solid counter to the mini P.E.K.K.A., but I mean to the Hogrider. But as you can see, the tower's just getting chipped away, and that's all Backstab needs. As we count down the time here, Backstab just trying to chip away 1 shot or 2 at a time, and he's going to take this.
That's right. With it being a tournament format, they do have those 3 minutes of extra time, so you can be able to chip a bit more, not worry about getting a tower down right away.
Exactly. So you can see that Drezizzle trying the same strategy again, dropping that giant down the left, using the support units like we talked about earlier, and there they are getting taken out, pushed back by the log, but the giant has gotten to the tower this time because the Tombstone was too far to the right. That allowed that giant to go straight to the tower, get a couple of quick shots off. But again, that was a big elixir push from Drezizzle and not a lot of damage. Again, this is going to be Backstab's chance. You know he's rotated back around to the Hog. He's got the Ice Golem in there first, got some skeletons in behind, and there's the Hogrider. Trying to get it on the far right so we'll get to the tower, and once again, even with a Musketeer there, the Hogrider gets in 2, maybe 3 clean shots before it finally goes down.
We got the giant going towards the center, towards that. Oh no, I'm going to say the same thing too. I want to call it a graveyard.
No, not the Tombstone. It looks like it now. The skeletons go down quickly to the Zap spell though, and you've got that Mega Minion in there. I get that one wrong myself all the time.
And the Mega Minion.
So, Mega Minion. And the Musketeers from Drezizzle coming out one after the other from the back. But again, Backstab doing a great job of just sneaking in the Hogrider. There he goes again. Mini P.E.K.K.A. counters, but the Ice Spirit. Ice Spirit stalled the Mini P.E.K.K.A. that time. The Hogrider gets in 357 on that tower. You can kind of see the writing on the wall at this point. He's dropped another Tombstone in. That giant gets nowhere near the tower. And it's really just a matter of 1 more Hog cycle. He gets to the Hog again with any sort of support down the right lane. Here it comes, Hogrider with the Ice Spirit.
I like that Ice Spirit.
That's it. Froze the goblins, Hogrider gets in, the Fireball finishes it off. Time runs out.
Just in case.
Backstab with a win. Just an insurance Fireball.
You need that Fireball. Or the rocket in your pocket, as you like to say.
The rocket in your pocket.
I think we're actually just going to be going up into oh no, I'm sorry. I have a few questions for you actually.
Hey, sure.
Looking into that game, you guys were talking about the Mecha Minions before, but they didn't really seem to do too much there in that game. Why is that?
Well, they do a surprising amount of damage. They're just kind of quiet about it. They're not as loud and as like say a giant or something like that. The Mega Minion and attacking ground and air units makes a big difference in a match. You can grind down a tank with it. You can one-shot smaller units, but ideally you're going after a larger, a higher hit point unit, so it may take a few shots for the Mega Minions to get the job done, but it does, and it's a really card that's added a lot of diversity to the game itself, I think.
What card that we've seen a lot do you hate? Like you just want to see it out of the game?
Well, I mean, personally, I really dislike the Royal Giant.
Yeah?
That's probably one of my least favorite cards in the game.
We haven't seen him too much.
So, no, we haven't seen that much of the Royal Giant. I also dislike the Lava Hound, but I think it's one of those things where I have difficulty with it in some of the decks that I like to run. So I just don't like the Lava Hound because it usually means